Hi, and welcome back to the online study of preparing for PPA certification. We're now in the fifth section of the test specifications, digital post-production. Digital post-production accounts for 13 of the questions that will appear on the CPP exam. The sections are all pretty short, with the exception of the last one. There's going to be 5 sections in here, so let's just get started. Section A says, understand the best color space in which to work. Now there's going to be one item from the exam in this section. Number 1 begins, knowledge of color space, RGB, CMYK, sRGB, Adobe RGB, and ProPhoto RGB. Color space defines the range of color or the color palette. Digital files, capture devices, and output devices use various subsets within the visible color gamut of a given color space. The RGB color model uses additive color mixing of red, green, and blue to produce color. sRGB, or standard RGB, is the most common color space for capture devices such as digital cameras, video cameras, and computer monitors. The sRGB color space is the smallest of the RGB color spaces. It is the primary color space for images viewed on the web. Next in size is the Adobe RGB color space. This color space was designed by Adobe to expand the gamut of colors achievable on CMYK printers, but by using only RGB primary colors. The largest of the color spaces in RGB is the ProPhoto RGB color space. It provides the widest range of colors. However, many of them are not printable by some printers. The CMYK color space is a subtractive color space used when printing images with inks and dyes onto paper. The process utilizes cyan, magenta, yellow, and black to produce its color gamut. Its color space is even smaller than the RGB color spaces. Number 2 says, knowledge of color space for printing and reproduction. Printing presses and most digital and inkjet printers use CMYK as its color space to print the images onto the paper. Because photographers view images in an RGB environment on a computer screen, images will need to be converted to CMYK before the images are actually printed. This can be done by the photographer, but it may be best to leave this conversion to the printer since they are the most knowledgeable about their own printing process. When images are printed on inkjet printers, the conversion from RGB color space of the file takes place in the printer's ICC profiles. These profiles translate the colors that are seen on the monitor and embed it into the file into a CMY color space for printing. It's a good idea to remember the definition of what an ICC profile is. Remember, it converts the RGB color space that you see on your monitor into a CMYK color space that you will use on your printer. How is that for a short section? That's it for Section A. We'll be right back for Section B.